Okay, friends. So, what if I told you that there are declassified documents proving that superhumans exist? Mm.
Junior want to not be on my. I can't really see what did I miss. Ex strippers.
Now, today I'm going to try a different setup because I really don't like when I have to put the videos in and then we have to try to edit them and find the right videos. We're not doing all that today. We're just going to react to them. And then I'm going to show you what I found online, minding my business, being nosy. But I really feel like I'm really tired. I'm tired, friends. I'm tired of them lying to us. And then they put the documents out and then they pretend like, oh, it's just declassified. It don't mean nothing just because we studied it and spent money on it and have proof that it happened. And I mean, this is real hard, solid evidence. Y'all have to stay to the end. Y'all have to stay to the end because I downloaded this directly from a CIA declassified document. Okay, friends? I'm not trying to gaslight you. I'm not trying to make you feel away. I'm just telling you what I have found out. Something that we kind of already knew anyway, friends, because they really be playing in our face. But I wanted to show y'all a few videos I found online first on TikTok. Y'all tell me what y'all think about this, because honestly, I feel like we're living in a world these days where you can't trust the truth and you have to believe the lie. That makes sense.
This man just convinced me that superpowers are actually real. Watch this, y'all.
Notice the environment before we start. Pay attention, ready? It's just me. I don't work for Marvel. I don't got no team or people. You feel me? It's me in my backyard. It's time to accept the truth, bro. It's only gonna. Wait, you feel me? Notice the environment.
This is where it gets wild.
Now notice me in the environment.
Things start moving, the energy shifts.
You see that? Notice the environment.
This is insane.
Friends, I can't tell you how many times I've seen videos like this. I ain't gonna lie to you. Have y'all ever tried this yourself? Have y'all ever gone outside and tried to move the trees or try to get the wind to do what you want it to do?
Тарзан. Афон. А теперь ко мне. Ко мне, Тарзан. Ко мне, я говорю. Тарзан. Тарзан, я сказал, ко мне. Тарзан, ко мне. Что это? Тихо, тихо, Тарзан.
Y'all, that video is so old, but how do you fake that? How do you make that up? So basically what happens is this somewhere in Russia, this guy's walking through the woods with his dog, and they just happen to see this small girl floating in the air, and I guess her mother or somebody was watching her. And I feel like when you're in a trance or you ever been doing something and you're like heavily focused on that thing that you're doing, you ain't really paying attention to who's around you. I know people are gonna be like, "Oh, this was staged. How she not hear them? How did?" But have you ever been in a situation where you're super focused and somebody could be talking to you? You have no idea. You didn't even know what they were saying. You just in the zone. And as a mother, if one of my children did that, I mean, I would be super like careful to make sure nobody's around and watching. But once I see with my own two eyes, for all we know, that could have been the first time she saw it. I would be like, holy water, holy water. No, I'm serious though. I feel like she probably just didn't pay attention to it, but you can clearly see the little girl floating in the air. And you wonder, do the powers that be know these people exist? Is all of this just made up and everybody just regular? There's no way. There's no way that there are billions of people on this planet and we all just regular degular. And we just we no psychic capabilities, no telekinesis, no telepathy, none of that. Nobody can do anything except sit down, eat, watch TV, go viral. That's all we can do. I don't believe it at all. I got two more videos to show y'all, and then I'm gonna show y'all this declassified document that really sent me and got me up in a tizzy. But let me show you this next video Talking about people who have some type of rare genetic mutation that one would consider to be a superpower. We don't know what we have lying dormant in our genes because a lot of these things were found out by accident. Y'all get what I'm saying?
Humans with real life superpowers looks like. This woman, Joe Cameron, can't feel any pain and isn't capable of feeling anxiety or any other negative emotions.
I want that. I need that superpower. I don't know if I'll be sitting around long and like, oh, I wish I knew what something hurt feel like. Baby, I need that. No anxiety, no pain. I don't know if he said emotion. Did he say emotion, y'all? I don't know. I need to feel the emotion. I don't want to be a sociopath. But if I don't have no anxiety and no pain, baby, put me on the stage.
Thanks to having two rare gene mutations. Stephen Wiltshire has a photographic memory so photographic, he once took a 20-minute helicopter ride over New York City, then literally drew the entire thing on an 18-foot piece of paper off a memory. A man was once involved in a serious car accident, and doctors were shocked that he had no fractured or broken bones. And that's when they found out his bones were basically unbreakable because they were 8 times more dense than normal thanks to a gene mutation.
Do y'all feel like they purposely create these people? Like, when mothers are going in for prenatal visits, do y'all think they like do stuff secretly and try to create these superhumans?
While Kim Peek's superhuman ability was that he could read 10,000 words per minute thanks to being able to read the left page of a book with his left eye and the right page with his right eye. How does that work?
Hey, I'm not gonna lie. I might be able to do that, y'all. I might be able to do that. When you have to hurry up and skim over something real quick before a meeting, when you got to hurry up and read something before you get caught reading it, when you have to hurry up, test about to start, and you got to remember, baby, I'm reading through there. You hear me? Getting all the information.
A guy that lives in India is known as Electric Man because apparently his body can conduct 30 times more electricity than the average person, and they say he can light a light bulb with his bare hands. Then there's this woman named Rebecca Sherrock that has a condition called hyperthymesia, which means she can remember every single detail of every day of her life since she was 12 days old.
Y'all, that person can remember everything from the day she was 12 days old. Could you imagine the type of like anxiety, the type of stress she must feel remembering every single thing, especially when people try to lie to her and she remembers every detail or every shirt, every color? Like, you ever can't get something stuck out of your mind? Like a certain place or a certain food that you've eaten, and it's just like replaying over and over and over again. Sometimes I heard that mean you need magnesium, but I don't know. Ain't no doctor. I'm just telling you what they had told me. But I can't imagine what it would be like to remember every single thing. But if I needed to use this person as a superhuman and take her to an important meeting with an important person or people or group of people in the gathering, even though you can record stuff, what if you can't record stuff? What if you just need somebody to remember? Boom, there she is. She remembers everything. Mm.
What's that? Oh, the CIA released a document saying that the Earth is a hologram. Imagine that. And that we can access superhuman abilities. And they explain so how in this document. Tell me more! Yeah, you heard that right. According to the CIA released document, they explain how humans can access superhuman ability. Now, the way they say that you can do this is by going through hemisync. Oh, what's hemisync, you ask? Well, it's basically getting your brain synced up together so that both parts of the brain are in harmony. Okay. So how do we do that? Oh, well, what you do is you have to have a frequency playing in each ear, but a different frequency on each ear between 3 and 7 hertz. Okay. The document states that basically once you have this hemisync, you are able to basically do anything in this hologram. I love it.
What? That is insane. That is absolutely insane, friends. I'm just like, there's no way. A holographic Earth. You can access superpowers if you want to. You just got to put some different frequencies in your ears. That's what close to your brain. And then there's frequencies all the time traveling through your ears and your brain that's coming from wireless headsets, Bluetooth devices, and then you're listening to music at certain frequency levels. And y'all know that for the longest, before before it became a trend to be woke, before the woke culture started, there were videos out there talking about certain frequencies that you would listen to, or what the frequency used to be on music back in the 30s and the 40s. And then it changed right out the WW2. You know what I'm saying? Um, they've been telling us these things. Now we're just now starting to piece it together. And you have some people that don't care, they don't care to listen to it. And some people like me and you that's like, something ain't adding up. And I want to know what it is and why. So he just told you that there is CIA declassified documents allegedly saying that the Earth is a holographic Earth and you can gain superpowers by tapping into these frequencies. But here's what I'm going to tell you. These documents to me resonated more with me because you encounter these type of people all the time. They're in your church. They're called prophets. They are seers, clairvoyant, clairaudient, claircognizant, um, psychic capabilities. Some people fear this type of thing, but I believe all of us have a touch of it. And if you don't, maybe I do. Maybe I'm one of the people that got superpowers. But sometimes people will call it discernment. There's so many different words for this, but what really gets me about it is that the CIA looked into it. Okay? They have documentation on it. I'm not saying they did the testing themselves, but wherever this testing was done, what was done in China, these people have 99 pages of documented studies. And this took place back in the 80s, okay? So let me bring this up. Let me show y'all what I'm talking about. Um, okay, yeah. I'm gonna zoom in on this because I need y'all to see it. Hopefully y'all can see it. Maybe I can minimize this side. Okay. First of all, look at the table of contents, friends. The table of contents is the research activity. This is, you see right here at the top, it says CIA approved for release in 2001. Um, Research in human paranormal capabilities. Okay. I'm not making this stuff up, y'all, for entertainment. I'm really not doing that. I'm sharing this with y'all for entertainment. Y'all get what I'm saying? What I have found. But let's look at this. They have on here, page 27, an experiment of using psychic powers to break needles and make them whole again by Lin Shu and others. Breaking through the obstacle of space for psychic writing. Okay. I'm gonna tell y'all and summarize. An experiment into the psychic magnification effect. What you read in here, friend, is so shocking because you would think that, oh, they just tested some people out to see if some things would work. No, 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 boo. Let me go to page 27. I don't know why my keyboard isn't working. All right. So I'm not going to make y'all read through this. If y'all want to fast forward, you can. But let me show you this first one real quick. I'm going to tell you what he says, which is crazy. Basically, they gave an envelope with a piece of paper in the envelope to a person who claimed to have had psychic abilities, in which they call like telekinesis and telepathy and things like that. All of that is grouped under psychic capabilities in this research article. But they gave him an envelope with a piece of paper inside the envelope. They glued the envelope shut, had him in a controlled room with observers, gave the envelope to him. Z, the subject, the person with this capability, was able to take the envelope, place it up to the light. I wish I had a piece of paper to show y'all. He placed the envelope up to a piece of light so that you could see the piece of paper inside of it. And then he says, y'all watch this. And he moves the piece of paper inside the envelope. What is even crazier, friends, and I don't mean crazy in a disrespectful way, I'm saying crazy in a mind blown. He was able to remove the paper from inside the envelope without ever opening it, just right out. So let me see. Okay, so let's go right here. They checked the envelope was well sealed. Then the envelope was handed to Z. Z used the thumb and forefinger of each hand to grasp the two ends of the envelope. He held the envelope up over his head into the light from a window. The light was very good from the observer's standpoint. We could directly observe the slightest move made by Z. Because the light was able to slightly penetrate the envelope, we were seeing the outline of the paper inside of the envelope very clearly. It was at this time that Z said, "Do you see the paper moving?" All three observers saw the paper in the sealed envelope slowly move upwards. At this time, we watched Z's fingers holding the envelope very closely, and they did not move at all. When the paper had moved up against gravity all the way to the top of the envelope, Z pulled his hands apart, and all of a sudden, the paper came out. This is a CIA declassified document, friends. That's what they got to do. Now, if we go down to another case here, let's see. China Aerospace Medicine Research Institute. Here we go. In order to eliminate any false appearance and to guarantee the strictness of the experiment was designed to satisfy the following conditions. The test object must have several unique characteristics. The container is sealed in irreversible manner, and the experiment is closely monitored by more than one person. So in this experiment, again, I'm not gonna read this one, but I'll tell y'all what happened. Basically, they had multiple needles, 1 millimeter in diameter, right? Metal needles, metal needles that they gave to this person, and I think they call this person X. And X was able, and they magnified and showed you what the needle looked like here before it was broken and after it was broken. They gave it to the person, and X broke the needle in half with their mind. And then not only did they break the needle in half with their mind, friend, they turned around and put it back together with their mind. It's all in this document, friend. This was in 1981 that they were able to do it. See, it says in May 1981, we used an electron scanning microscope to analyze the break in the needle broken with the psychic powers. Okay. There is one other test done in here with 15 children. I think they had 20. Oh, actually, no. There were 25 psychic children, and they wrote numbers or letters on a piece of paper, friends. And they wrote them in different colors, and they put them in a deck, and they let those kids guess the number and the color that was in the deck. Now, here's something that's interesting that I saw. One of the telekinesis, and I might be using the word wrong, telepathy. I think it was telekinesis, where the people move stuff with their hands. One of those videos that I saw, there was a guy explaining how to do it, and he was saying that you had to feel it in your hand. He said you have to feel it in your hand, in the palm of your hand. You have to feel it and imagine it like the power radiating into your hand, right? This is what he said. Young person, I seen an older person say the same thing, and that is how he moved objects. He had to focus all his energy here. Well, in this particular research that took place July of 1981, there were multiple kids who guessed the color right, who guessed the number right without seeing the paper at all. And what they explained to the researchers is that they felt a tingle and like heat radiating into their hand and up under their arm. And that is how they knew the right number. Some of them saw flashes pop by in their head of the number and the color. Some took longer than others. I think that has a lot to do with what the kids' diet was like, how much they believe in themselves. You know, not genealogically. Let me not use that word at all. I don't know what happened. The people that got in my head. Now I can't talk. When you're speaking from a perspective of what genes they inherited from their parents, like I think that has a lot to do with how quickly or how much somebody practices their capabilities. And when you say powers, it makes it sound so like, oh, like Power Ranger, like, sci-fi. But when you say a gift or unique capability, then people understand, because certain people have certain gifts and they can do certain things. So, I mean, I wanted to show that to y'all so y'all can know that this is not for fake. People sharing these documents. You can go out and find it on online yourself. You can read through them. Um, but when you think about like mutant humans or humans with genetic like modifications or defects or whatever you want to call it that are able to do certain things, you think to yourself, well, is X-Men real? Was Professor X real? Was their school real? Well, friends, let me tell you something. I'm about to blow your mind one more time and get you up in the tears. I need you to calm down though. There is a school in Virginia that teaches people how to use their superpowers. You can say maybe superpowers or a gift, but the school is called the Monroe Institute. Okay. Let me see if I can actually pull this thing up here. Oh, that's another one. Psychic phenomena. Okay. Let me see, friends. Let me see if I can pull up the Monroe Institute. Um, that way, again, all of these things that I'm telling y'all for entertainment purposes only, y'all will be able to see. Let me see. Let's share it. Let's add this one on up here. This is the Monroe Institute. That says, oh, let's get this off of here. Discover, validate, empower. Explore non-physical, gain greater self-awareness, expand your compassion. Have to be very careful how they word this stuff because again, people will start to think like, oh, hocus pocus. It's hocus pocus. It's not real. But I think we all have a certain level that we're able to tap into, right? Let's look at the programs. Um, Programs for beginners. Introduction to beyond meditation. So a lot of us Okay, a lot of us have been introduced to the idea that you can have like a certain level of discernment or everybody has psychic capabilities, but a lot of people tap into like astral projection and all that type of things by going into a meditation, a meditative state where your brain can focus on one thing, but it can be focused on nothingness, relaxation, a point, a picture, or whatever it is that you're meditating, a sound, a frequency, whatever. So they have a class that teaches you how to do that. Then they have spoon bending 101. This class is 229. Friends, we need to do this class. We need to do this class. Who got $229? I want to learn how to bend a spoon because you know how scary that'll be. You talk crazy to me, baby. Get my back scratcher. I'm gonna bend this thing right in your face. And I guarantee anybody got a problem with you once you bend this backwards, they're going the other way. They're going the other way. They're not gonna deal with you. 229, I think that's worth the investment to learn how to bend a spoon. Gateway Voyage. Baby, I hope this not okay. It says consciousness introduction. $2,695. Oh, it's 6 nights. It's 5 days and 6 nights. So you sleeping. Split weekend. Okay, so I mean not sleeping, I guess. I don't know. Out of body, not doing it. I don't play around with astral projection. If you've ever fell into a deep sleep and had an out of body experience and seen those little shadow people, baby, you not doing this right here because that's a dangerous round to play in. If you think it's a game, there are declassified documents on that as well. Okay, where somebody went and did that, they didn't come back, they documented it and it is declassified. Okay, I got a video on my page. Go back and look on my page, see if you can find it. But it's out there. Lucid dreaming, not doing none of that. Remote viewing, none of that because all that is all in one. Out of body, lucid dreaming, remote viewing. Child, I can't even talk. I gotta calm down. Don't do none of those, friends. Yeah, we're gonna get on out of here. Anyway, but y'all see, if you know, you know. Y'all see what it is that's happening out there. Please let me know, friends, what y'all thought about this video. If the games is up too loud, am I screaming and hollering in y'all ear? Did you like this type of content? Do y'all like my new setup? I changed the setup for y'all because I felt like it just won't, right? It won't hit like it was supposed to. And honestly, this is just not even the end. I don't know if I'm gonna paint this black. I don't know what I'm gonna do, friends. But we're gonna continue to kick it and hang out, and hopefully y'all like the new setup. Let me know what you think down in the comments. Do you think that superpowers are real? Do you think everyone has a certain gift? Do you have a gift? Is there some experience that you had similar to something you saw here today, friends? Let me know because we can get it popping down in the comment section. I love to talk back and forth with y'all, and it means so much to me, friends. Anyway, I really hope I ain't got y'all up in too much of a tizzy. And I'm gonna call y'all back later on. Make sure you like, subscribe, cost you nothing. Bye, friends.